gentlemen, dear colleagues, constitutional and European legal rules for armaments, quality and alternative procurement ways for EU and NATO states. I don't want to bore you, but we have a big program. At first, 1 minute for introduction so that you know who does your keynote speak. For which honor I thank you very much. I'm certified specialized lawyer for tax law, for transportation law and contract logistics law. And this is in view of both parts, civil and military. Long-time lecturer at the Vienna Economic University and owner of my own law company and PhD at University of Miskolc. I'm proud of that. Military background, Lieutenant Colonel Reserve, light infantry. That is my first interest in army. Member of the Science Commission of Austrian MOD, member of Vienna Officers Association and lectures on military drones, anti-tank defense and battle tactics. So now you know more about me than one who knows nothing, okay? So, some references, only a very short time, and now we move to the topics. What do I want to show you? At first, a little introduction. Please, let us make a journey to the world of war. This is nothing for weak nerves. As we are altogether over 18, I think it's possible that that we travel a little bit and we look a little bit about victims and about success in war. Then we have a look to armament quality and how we can push the politicians to provide armament quality to our NATO and EU armies. And at last, I present you very shortly some unconventional ways how to get the quality armament. Let's move. Un tour d'horizon to war, history and contemporary history. How to win a war and how to survive. This is not the same. Something to look at. A German Leo 2, not the newest version, the newest is Leo 2A8, but it is a very modern tank and a very modern version. Why do I show you that? The Canadian Army in AFG, Afghanistan, changed this one against the US assault gun, for those who speak German too, Sturmgeschütz, Striker. And here you have a look at the fine assault gun Striker before and after hit by RPG-7. This is a Russian very effective bazooka. No protection, you see it. And no one of the soldiers survived. I'll make a little quote of German General Lieutenant Willmann, retired, lightly in, dead out. And we can resume modern in and not dead out. Superiority leads to success in war and to survival of the fighters. Please compare in dual situations, in Gulf War, the relation between the hit and destroyed Western tanks of modern generations. For example, the American Abrams or the French Leclerc was 1 to 500 destroyed tanks Other authors analyze that it was 1 to 1,000, but it's not the main point. The casualty ratio was 1 to 4 dead. This is the one tank here. Oh no, this is not possible, okay. This is one destroyed tank to 2,000 or 4,000 killed Iraqi soldiers. Let's have a short look to World War II. The German Panther or Tiger tank to the American Sherman, the kill ratio was 4 to 20 to 40. So, what does we learn about that? Superiority means survival and military success. Let's move to some eternal military experience facts. Tactical and strategic surprise lead to victory. Inferiority in key dimensions leads to defeat and death. And optimized active and protective armor, so the best armament is dynamic in time. It becomes obsolete. It becomes obsolete. Please do give this experience to the politicians who decide. Disrespecting these facts is wrong. And now I come to the legal situation. It's wrong, not justifiable, and not it is indiscretion of the politicians. So now we have to look at the Supreme Court, at the constitutional courts. What do they do? Only to reflect, this is an adaptation of the critical rationalism as philosophy of science. It is a much theoretical, a big theoretical challenge to argue that, but one can argue that. I had published some articles for that. Now, some examples again. Military drones. These are exponential non-linear effects as disruptive developments. GPS was a new experience in Gulf War. To history, dreadnought battleships, 1904, 1905. They made the whole elder battleships obsolete. And the shaped charge bazooka against steel armor. Only steel armor tanks were obsolete. And now something for the heart. A little four-legged unmanned ground vehicle robots, and this and what you see at the top, this is a little machine gun. It goes to the heart in reality. And here we see a UAV, unmanned aerial vehicle, which drops some hand grenades, going to the heart too. The consequence is we need the best armor, but now for the members of you with military background, with best, with best situation adapted armament. Not the most modern armament, the situation best armament. This may be a tank, but this may be anti-aircraft tank against drones too, as in Ukraine, our German Gepards, cheetahs. Okay, now when we accepted these facts, now let's have a look to the constitutional situation. Only an overview. Nearly all, and I didn't study every constitution, but some constitutions, nearly every constitution does not contain any regulations about armament, about armament quality, about the quantity we need. In Austrian constitution, for example, they say we have Bundesheer, federal armed forces, to protect Austria. Okay, very fine. But what does that mean? We have no jurisdiction excepted one judgment of the UK Supreme Court, UK as a NATO partner, from 2013. The state was liable to the victims, to the dead soldiers, due to poor equipment. He was liable. But this is the only judgment we could research, and I think there was nothing since 2030. In Germany, there's nothing. And I think in Hungary, too. So, but we have a solution. The fundamental right under Article 2 of German Grundgesetz, basic law, is a historical, evolved catch-all provision. This article has developed to a all-over adaptive and adaptable legal rule of constitution to avoid, to protect the citizens, the soldiers, everybody against dangers which could be avoided. This is the origin was the atomic, the nuclear jurisdiction to nuclear energy. And there were very high points to very high issues to protect the nuclear energy, the reactors, from exploding. And if we adapt this to the situation of war, then we have a subjective right of the soldier for protection and corresponding duty of the state to protect. Because the state does order his soldiers to bear risks, to bear the risks of war. He has to bear to be perhaps killed or injured. And that means we have the duty of state to best armament. The main point is the synalagmatic relation between the duty of soldier to bear risks and to fight, and on the other hand, the right of the soldier to minimize the risks he has to bear. Okay, now if we have shown that there are constitutional and EU and European Human Rights Convention, this is the same regulation, and this is in Hungary, for example, in value. Now let's move a little bit to conventional alternative procurement channels. I try to make it as short as possible, okay? Purchasing of the armament. That is the conventional solution. We buy a tank, we buy the Eurofighter or whatever. This is a property-oriented conventional method. So, and de facto, this method is an obstacle to modern armor. Why? We have to pay the big price for example, a tank. This is meanwhile 12 million euro, including VAT, value-added tax, and now you will be astonished. And the states do not have the money. They have to loan or whatever. They do not have the money to give the army the best armament. Paradigm shift, use-oriented consideration. The example is, I give you an example now, the military equipment to rent, for example, 20 years. That is a life cycle contract, which should be made on best practice basis. Canada leased 20 Leo 2 A6 for AFG instead of the Striker, as you have seen in the beginning. Some examples: rent Heron drone by Bundeswehr. Hungary leases Saab Gripen for the Air Force. There are special privatization models. For example, the Deutsche Bundeswehr Fuhrparkservice, the German White Fleet. And now, as you can all calculate, I don't will read you everything, but if you compare, we have to buy, in case of purchasing, we have to give a price from 12 million euro for one battle tank, for one main battle tank. And for that amount per year, if you break it to the first year, you get 18, a whole company, and 2 tanks additionally, if you rent it. Advantages. It's a multiplier effect. We can get our best armament now. Of course, we are bound for a long time. But if we buy a tank, we are bound too for a long time. There's no comparison. And now, I finish with a quote of William Shakespeare, a very known military author of the 16th century. Take arms against a sea of troubles caused by missing armament, and in so doing, end them. Hamlet. Thank you. I hope I was not too boring to you.